You know, that corner of the yard that keeps getting ignored? I've watched plenty of clients turn that into the one room they actually use every week. Brad Smith here. And after 15 years of redesigning homes, I can tell you the biggest mistake is making a she shed feel like a leftover storage box. In this countdown, I'm showing you 17 she shed ideas that feel personal, practical, and genuinely worth the square footage. Some are simple, a few are surprisingly clever. Let's start the list. I've tucked a reading chair into a shed that was barely 8 by 10, and the difference came down to one thing: window placement. If the light hits your shoulder instead of the page, you'll actually stay in there. Add a narrow shelf, not a chunky bookcase, and the room feels calm instead of crowded. For a home office, I care less about the desk and more about the outlet map. I've seen people build a pretty shed, then run an ugly extension cord across the floor because the monitor and printer landed on the wrong wall. Put task light over the desk and keep the chair facing away from glare. An art studio needs messy, friendly surfaces, not pretty ones. I always spec a washable floor, usually vinyl plank or sealed concrete, because paint drips and clay dust find every seam. A north-facing window is gold if you can get it, since it keeps colors honest. That's the part people don't think about until their reds look orange. A potting shed only works if the dirt has somewhere to go. I've built enough of these to know a deep utility sink saves more cleanup time than any fancy cabinet ever will. Keep the counter at about 36 inches, add hooks for tools, and use tile or sealed board behind the sink, because moisture always wins. Rustic farmhouse style looks easy, but the trick is restraint. If you stack on too many barn details, it starts feeling like a theme park. I like one reclaimed wood wall, simple shaker trim, and black iron accents, then stop. That mix gives you warmth without making the shed feel heavy or dark. Minimalist sheds are harder than they look, because every crooked line shows. I've had clients choose cheap trim and regret it the second the door closes, since modern spaces depend on tight reveals and flat surfaces. Spend the money on good doors, hidden storage, and one strong material, like oak or plaster, and it reads calm instead of plain. A boho lounge can get cluttered fast, and that's where most people miss. I like a low sofa, layered rugs, and just enough texture to feel relaxed, but not so many patterns that the room starts buzzing at you. Rattan and cotton work better than shiny finishes here, because they soften the whole shed. That little front porch changes the whole read of a shed. I've seen a plain box feel welcoming just by adding a 4-foot deep landing, a couple of real posts, and a chair that doesn't wobble. Skip the skinny decorative rail though, it just looks tacked on and ages fast. A small budget interior only works if you stop pretending every wall needs to do everything. I've built these with plywood shelves, one good task light, and a washable floor, and that's usually enough. The mistake is buying cute tiny furniture that eats the room, because in an 8 by 10, every inch has a job. Craft rooms get messy fast, so I always plan for the mess before the pretty stuff. A 30-inch deep counter, closed bins under the surface, and a sink if you can swing it. Keep glue, paper, and fabric from taking over. Honestly, open cubbies look nice until glitter hits them. A greenhouse conservatory shed sounds dreamy, and it is, but the glass is doing real work here. I've had clients regret too much south-facing glazing because it cooks the space by noon. So I like mixing clear panels with a shaded wall and a floor that can handle damp boots. It stays usable, not just pretty. A sleeping loft sounds like free square footage, but the ladder angle decides whether you actually use it. I've built lofts at 6'6" clear height below, and anything tighter starts feeling like a crawl space. The trick is keeping the bed low enough that the ceiling fan, if you add one, still has breathing room. Glam works in a she shed when the materials are doing the talking, not the clutter. I like a velvet chair, a little brass, and one mirrored surface. But I keep the palette tight, because too many shiny finishes start looking like a dressing room set. The room feels richer when the light lands softly, not everywhere. A coastal cottage she shed only feels right if the finishes are a little weathered, not perfect. I've used beadboard, bleached oak, and linen shades because they soften the boxy shell without making it look fake. The common mistake is overdoing navy. Then the room starts feeling themed instead of relaxed. I've built a few of these in back corners where the slab was barely level. And that's why a yoga meditation she shed lands here. The big mistake is making it too pretty and not quiet enough. I always spec thicker wall insulation, a solid core door, and softer daylight from one side only, so the room feels calm instead of echoey. The minute you add plumbing, the whole project gets real. And that's why a she shed with bathroom sits here. I've seen people forget venting and then wonder why the cabin smells damp 6 months later. A compact 30-inch vanity, a pocket door, and a properly insulated floor make the space usable year-round without eating the whole footprint. Once you put bottles, glassware, and a little sink in there, the she shed becomes the room everyone actually heads to on a Friday night. Honestly, this ranks first because a bar needs less square footage than a craft room, but it has to be built smarter, with a moisture-resistant top and enough under-counter storage for ice, towels, and the ugly stuff. A good she shed doesn't need to be huge. It just needs to feel intentional, comfortable, and a little bit like yours. If you found a few ideas you'd actually use, hit subscribe, like the video, and visit omnihomeideas.com for more room-by-room inspiration. Brad Smith here, and I'll keep bringing you the practical stuff that makes a home feel better without the fluff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.